The question is that the motion that has been accorded priority as moved by the member for Balcombe Hills be agreed to. I call the member for Balcombe Hills in reply.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and thank you for the member for Kiama for that wonderfully relevant for that wonderful relevant interpretation of the motive behind this motion. I'm actually quite surprised that he thinks that the Liberal Party is anything like that, the Labor Party, everybody knowing that we don't have factions. Mr Deputy Speaker, this motion surprises me in the sense that there'd be anybody from the opposition that would oppose it. Because I know that in my pre-parliamentary career as a member of as the CEO of the Civil Contractors Federation, I had regular communication with many members of these MPs from the opposition when they were indeed in government. The member for Kiera, indeed, I had communication with when he was working for a former transport minister, and I vividly remember one of those meetings sitting down when we were planning out how the North West Rail Link would be tendered and how it would be sold, and how indeed it would be a great asset to the people of North Western Sydney. But let's set that aside, because, Mr Deputy Speaker, I just need to make one observation, and that is that the Leader of the Opposition, who has left the chamber for this important piece of important debate, knowing full well that he represents an electorate that will be using this important piece of infrastructure, has indeed tomorrow morning, he has 19 hours to rewrite his speech, his address and reply, and highlight to this chamber and to the people of New South Wales what he's going to do about the North West Rail. The North West Rail that was promised by successive Labor leaders. Why he thinks that the people of North Western Sydney don't deserve a rail link, and what contribution a Labor government would make to this important piece of public infrastructure. I can tell you a number of statistics, Mr Deputy Speaker, which the member for Kiera and others won't want to hear. One of those statistics is $500 million. That's the money that members opposite wasted in the Sydney Metro. A $1 million a metre piece of public infrastructure that the former Minister for Transport and indeed the Leader of the Opposition doesn't want to talk about. He needs to stand up here tomorrow, having voted against this motion, knowing full well that it is in stark contrast to the will and the wishes of the people of his own electorate of Blacktown. He needs to stand up here tomorrow and tell the people of New South Wales, tell this chamber, what his plan is. He's very quick to stand up and tell to the people of New South Wales that the government is doing nothing because he hasn't seen a new piece of track to lay down. Well, guess what? Track doesn't come down that easy. We've had so much neglect in this state that it's going to take quite a bit of momentum to get this sort of work done. So, Mr Deputy Speaker, I leave the chamber with my motion, hoping that members endorse it, knowing full well, of course, that it is the best thing for the people of New South Wales.
The question is that the motion that has been accorded priority by this House, as moved by the member for Balcombe Hills, be agreed to. All of that opinion say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion that was accorded priority